Welcome to Inspiration's Beauty Show. This podcast is not only to inspire you to achieve the skin of your dreams, but it's to teach you on how to care for your skin to get your dream skin a reality. Learn with me as I combine my inspirational and spiritual side along with my skin enthusiast and professional and educated mind. I'm your host, Danielle Cerrone, self-made skincare practitioner, certified esthetician, business owner, beauty blogger, and now Inspiration's Beauty Show host. My intentions through this outlet is to educate you so that you know everything there is to know about skin and how to care for it. Not only will this podcast help spruce up your skincare routine and uncomplicate the beauty industry, but I'm here to help create you be your own skin master. Each episode will cover a topic to bring you closer to that master status. And the best thing is that this industry is always growing, so we will be learning a lot together. So are you ready? Let's go, inspirational beauties. It's learning time. Hello and good morning. How are we doing today? I'm so happy that it's May, and I'm sure you are too, especially if you're in Canada. This means a little bit more of warmer weather is around the corner, and I know a lot of us Canadians live for this. I also would love your feedback on which episode was your favorite when we talked about graceful aging and healthy aging. Did you have kind of a perspective change? Did anything kind of, light a little inspiration in your head, or did you have, like I said, a different outlook on how aging is and what it looks like for you? I want you to message me or even write a review or post it on your socials. This is not only just for me to help get the word out, but it also helps me focus on what more you guys want to hear. So to be honest, I do want to hear more from you guys. I want more of a community, and I want to know what I'm posting is what you guys are looking for. And if it's not, that's totally cool. I just need to be better directed. And last week, like I said, to message me about any small businesses that you think deserve a shout out, especially because of everything going on. And I wanted to be able to feature more businesses, but that's okay. I'm going to open that up so that if you listen to this episode and you want to feature a small business, I will still give them a shout out on the next episode. But for the time being, I want to give a few local businesses some love and attention here just because I love and support them so much. So of course, I'm going to give my lash tech Lauren a shout out because of course her business is also on hold. She's super talented, super sweet, and she's helping me take over a lot of lash clientele for my business. So she's a beautiful addition that really helps me be able to continue to grow, but her talents grow and then welcome more people so we can have more people visit Inspiration's Beauty Clinic. So big shout out to Lauren. You can follow her on her Instagram at lashes.by.lauren.xo. I will attach all of this in the show notes for you guys as well, so you can give them all a beautiful follow. Of course, I'm also going to give my good friend Ali a shout out who has a business called Alignholistics. You can find her Instagram as well. So it's alignholistics. This magical human is also going to be working in my space, which has me super excited. So once we're back up and running, you are able to work with Ali in my space. Whether you're interested in Reiki or Akashic Records or Soul Talks, soul healing, she even does personal training. She does so much more. So absolutely go give this magical lady a follow. Again, Align Holistics. And yeah, you guys will learn so much from her. And my last little shout out for today is Megan from Flawless Beauty. You definitely want to give this angel a follow because she's honestly incredibly talented. She's incredibly knowledgeable. And because I've mentioned her in previous episodes, and also because she's actually going to be my special guest for next week's episode. That's right. I'm super excited that I'm going to have my very first guest, and truthfully and honestly, after that interview, it's definitely not going to be the last, not even just with her, but in general. It was such a fun outlet, and it's totally something that I'm going to continue to offer for you guys. So like I said, tune in next week so you don't miss out on the interview with Megan. And again, make sure you tell me some local businesses that you think should have a little shout out on my podcast. So are you ready? We're going to learn about microneedling. Microneedling was a topic that I honestly knew from day one of starting my starting my podcast, that it would be an episode. I knew it. Like, it was just not only because it's my favorite, it's my client's favorite result-driven facial. I'm super proud of offering the service at Inspirations Beauty Clinic, but also because I think this is a service that really scares people. And I find the more education you have and the more knowledge around something, it is definitely less scary. And that's exactly my intention for today. I really want to take the fear away from microneedling because there's really no reason for it. If you've listened to previous episodes, you know that this topic was eventually going to be covered. And I kept saying it, I think even in my third or so episode. And especially if you listened to last week's, you knew that today was the day we were going in and learning all about microneedling. So microneedling is a facial that I believe mainly became popular, a while ago when Kim K released, or I don't know if it was leaked, I don't really remember if she posted it or someone else did, but it was that photo of her where she had blood all over her face and the caption was something like, "Oh, just had a vampire facial." And that really got the buzz going. I think that's really what did it, because after that post, it was seriously talked about. And it was all the rage for quite some time. And I think that this brought some attention to the service, but I also think it scared people away because of that image. And of course, you can look anything up on the internet, and the internet can make anything look scary or give, results that aren't necessarily true. So that image is likely what gave you the intimidation factor to scare you away from this. And you're not alone. I was even in the exact same boat. I remember reading about this service and being like, oh my gosh, that sounds terrifying and I'm too scared to damage skin. I also ran the other direction. So I'm here to tell you that you're not alone, but I'm also here to educate you when I became educated, because it completely transformed my skin, my client's skin, my business, and it's something that seriously needs to be squared away. So yes, the Kardashians did make this a very known service, and shortly after, it was actually available to more than just the rich and the famous. So even though microneedling has been around for hundreds of years, it's been around for a super long time, it really probably came to life about, I want to say like 7 or so years ago. But I've personally been doing this in my clinic for only about 3. So like I said, I heard about it and I knew about it, but I strayed away until I finally pulled the trigger and learned about it, and it definitely blew my expectations out of the water, like hands down. So today I'm going to explain the process of the benefits of microneedling, the benefits of microneedling, what you can expect, and how to care for your skin properly before and after your treatment. So first, let's talk about how you can prepare for your microneedling treatment. In order to protect your skin and to get the best results possible, pre and post care are very important. You want to make sure that you're out of the sun or even tanning beds for 48 to 72 hours before your treatment. You want to make sure that you're doing this so that you don't cause your skin to be overly sensitive to pigmentation, because unfortunately, if you are in the sun before or after microneedling, and you do not properly follow the protocols or take care of your skin, the pigmentation and damage will get worse. Do not exfoliate your skin or use retinol before this treatment. The best ideal thing is minimally 1 week. And if you can't do that, or you've booked and it was only a few days before the day of appointment, then make sure you're stopping your retinol use and your exfoliation that moment. If you have had Botox or any injectables, you want to wait at least a week or 2. You can simply even ask your nurse or your doctor, whoever facilitated the injections, and see what they have to say as well. Just let them know, I'm getting a microneedling treatment. How long do you expect or suggest me to wait? Just so that we're not disrupting anything or moving any of the injection. And you're going to notice your aftercare, very, very, very similar. So after microneedling, again, you want to avoid the sun for 48 to 72 hours after your treatment, because your skin is going to be photosensitive. You do not want to worsen your pigmentation or your scarring, and you must wear sunscreen after a few days of this treatment. So after the 48 to 72 hours, sunscreen is a must, because you don't want the skin to get worse. I cannot stress that enough. During this healing time, you're actually going to stay away from product for that 2 days, and you're only going to apply hyaluronic acid on the skin. Hyaluronic acid helps heal the skin. It helps hydrate and protect the skin. So it's really, really beneficial after a microneedling treatment, and you don't want to apply anything else except for this. I cannot promise that other hyaluronic acid companies or brands or serums will do the trick and won't cause issues to your skin. Of course, if it's hyaluronic acid, it should be pretty safe, but the one that I use in retail is the only one that I can for sure stand behind, just as I know they pair together. I mentioned that hyaluronic acid is the only thing that you want to be using after microneedling. This is because you want to make sure the skin stays clear of other serums, moisturizers, makeup, because you don't want to clog the pores. You don't want anything too heavy or anything to interrupt the healing time. So maybe your serums or your moisturizers have specific ingredients that are great for cellular regeneration. Those type of things you want to avoid, because microneedling is actually, that treatment is actually triggering those responses in the skin. So if you're adding something that's potentially also triggering your skin or trying to, repair and regenerate, you could be interrupting the flow of the repair process. Absolutely no exfoliation. This is the same concept. You do not want to exfoliate for a minimum of 2 weeks after microneedling. You do not want to disrupt the process. The healing process is very important. The regeneration process is very important. You don't want to interrupt the collagen production. There's so many things that microneedling has and gives you benefits of. There's no point of interrupting this with a serum or an exfoliant. And don't get any facial treatments like a peel or microdermabrasion. Again, no exfoliation. If you're going to do any home facial or any professional facial after that about 72-hour mark, it is strictly about hydrating. So hydrating sheet masks or the oxygen facial I offer, for example. Other than that, you want to avoid it and just keep your skin clear and free of all other things. In addition, I also like to mention you want to make sure that you're cleaning your makeup brushes. You want to change your pillowcases and even wipe down your phone or your glasses, and do not touch your face. Again, your skin is going to be very sensitive and you want it to heal as quickly and as properly as possible. Following these protocols are exceptionally important, and it's what I can promise that will give you your optimal results. Without these followed, I cannot promise the results, and I cannot promise that you will not get an infection. So you really, really need to take these things seriously. So before you're listening to this episode, I'm sure you're wondering, can I even get this facial? Like, is this facial safe? Is it good for my skin type? I'm not even sure about this concept. It seems a little barbaric. Don't worry. Just please trust me. If you have one of these questions or all of these questions, this episode is exactly for you. It's made for you because I'm going to be answering all of that. I want to take away the fear and then swap it with excitement. Like I said earlier, microneedling has been around for years, hundreds of years, in fact. But it's been in my clinic for about 3 or 4 at this point, I believe. And I can proudly and confidently say I have not run into any issues. And I'm not even going to be knocking on wood right now because we're just not even going to go there. Microneedling is incredibly safe, and it will give you powerful, effective results as long as you're going to someone properly educated and certified. Unfortunately, like anything, if you are not educated, things can go terribly wrong. Or if the client doesn't listen to aftercare, things can go terribly wrong. Microneedling is a cosmetic procedure that induces controlled micro trauma to the skin. Notice I didn't say micro tears. That is very different. So a micro tear is what you get from exfoliating too harshly, too often, or that you're using an inappropriate product. This is where the skin is actually damaged, and then a scar comes because there's bacteria that sits in the skin, creates a blemish. That blemish can't heal properly, leads to infection or indentation that's left on the skin. Where controlled induced trauma is strategically, professionally done, that's controlled with a device that has small needles that trigger the healing process. And it's controlled because we can control the depth of the needle and, of course, are watching the skin for its response. So to answer your question, if you can get this facial, it depends. If you have severe active acne, or intense uncontrolled rosacea or uncontrolled diabetes, unfortunately at this time, I do not recommend this treatment. I recommend that we get the acne under control or that we control the rosacea. You just don't want to do this type of treatment with active acne, for example, because not only would it be excruciating painful, but it will break the blemishes, it will spread the bacteria, making acne worse, making it more painful, and the process at that time wouldn't actually heal the acne faster. Although microneedling is used to heal the skin, it's actually going to make it a lot worse, and you'll likely have more scarring because the blemishes were not properly cared for and not in a proper manner. Where rosacea is somewhat the same. So although we can subside the sensitivities, and microneedling is actually very great to balance skin tone and take away some redness. I've seen some really great results with that. But if the rosacea is very active and the flare-ups are very common, it's not a good idea. What I would like to do first is really get that a little bit more under controlled. We want to learn our triggers, learn the skin, and learn our responses and our healing time and go from there. If you do have rosacea and you want to learn a little bit more, I do have an episode about this and a blog, or we can get in touch and work on that together. But that is something that I would like to have controlled before we actually do any microneedling treatments. And diabetes is a tricky one. I've actually came across this before with a beautiful client of mine. This is only to make sure that the client is safe and that there are no issues with the healing. This is very, very important, and it's a very important discussion to have, even if it's not overly comfortable. Get them to consult their doctor, and then you can move forward. If this client does not have their diabetes under control, unfortunately, that is the very first step that you would like to encourage them to work with their doctor on, just so that you can give them the safest service possible and that you're confident in what you're doing. I do remember how sad I was and how bad I felt having this discussion with a client. Although I remember, it was being discouraging and my heart felt really heavy. And I remember her saying, it's basic things like this that really get her, because it's just things on a daily basis that interrupt her life because of her diabetes. And I remember reflecting on that, and it hit home for me. But ultimately, we both did decide that it was the best and safest thing to do. After some research, after talking to her doctor, we've had no issues. We've done multiple treatments. Her skin has healed beautifully. Great results. So we just played it safe and went from there. This beautiful client of mine that I'm talking about actually has her own podcast. It's called A Sweet City Girl. So you can give her a follow, especially if you have diabetes or you have a loved one or someone in your life. She explains things. She is so knowledgeable, such a light. She's so wonderful. She also even has an episode about her experience with me that she touches base on what that was for her and how her skin responded and just, pretty much everything about that experience. So I'm very thankful for not only her support, but her honesty and her authenticity to share that. So thank you so much, Rachel. So let's now talk about the benefits of microneedling, why you guys are all here, right? There's seriously, I feel like 1,000,001 benefits. Like I feel like each time I do this treatment, a client has a different result that's better than the last, or maybe they've got a new result that I haven't seen quite yet, or I don't know. Somehow this treatment just gets better and better. As I mentioned before, because of the controlled trauma, it encourages the skin to repair and regenerate. At this time, the body is protecting and healing the skin. This is where the collagen production is very encouraged. This is what heals our skin. This is what makes the skin heal so quickly. And that's what gives that tight complexion, that glowy complexion, that flawless feel and the texture and the appearance. I like to use the analogy about the healing of the skin, like when you're a kid, or maybe, hey, you're still clumsy, you still fall, no shame, no judgment. So let's just think you scraped your arm or your leg. Of course, you're going to see the wound. You're going to see that indentation and that the blood, the scar, the scrape, whatever. As your skin heals, it's regenerating, and it's the cut itself is less deep, it's less wide, it's creating a scab. And although our skin doesn't scab with microneedling, the skin is still having the same response where the body is like, okay, we got to repair, we got to regenerate, we got to heal, go, 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 move, move, move. Think of like Toy Story, those like little army toys. Like I think of those guys just like really actively working on your skin. It's that kind of concept. So your skin thinks, okay, there's a problem here, there's an issue here, produce all the collagen, all the elasticity, all these things that plump up our skin, all these things that we know heal, all these things that we know work, move, move, move. And your skin becomes incredibly flawless. The skin's goal is to actually protect us. So it doesn't know whether this is a cosmetic thing or an accidental trauma. It just knows, okay, repair, regenerate, hydrate, work at it, do your job. That's what the skin sees and hears. So because of this repair and regenerate and the healing power, this is what makes the skin look super fresh and rejuvenated because of this intensified collagen activation. So in addition to healing and recovering fast, your skin actually rejuvenates and has a huge collagen boost. The benefit of microneedling, which actually is also known as CIT, which is collagen induction therapy, because this treatment produces so much collagen in the skin. You'll also hear it being called medical needling, microneedling, like I said, CIT. They're really all the same because this treatment produces collagen up to 400%. Or another way to look at it, as I explain to clients, is one treatment of microneedling will produce the collagen of what your skin would naturally produce in 1 year. It's a no wonder that your skin looks so darn good in an instant glow after this treatment. It's a no wonder that it provides that tightness and that increase of blood flow, increase of texture, the beautifulness of the skin, the healthiness of the skin. It's no wonder that this is used for a healthy skin alternative, a healthy aging alternative. Again, you want to avoid any exfoliants, and this is really, really important. I really want to drive this home. Because of that tightness and that rejuvenation period, your skin will actually see results after the 2-week period with microneedling. So the first few days, you're going to feel that tightness. You're going to see the glow. You're going to feel it. But after the full 2 weeks, when your skin has fully completed and undergone its full rejuvenation period, you're going to see the lift in pigmentation, the lift in scarring, the acceleration of how the texture has improved. All these things are just going to be highlighted and heightened. So this is why it's so important to skip your exfoliants or your retinols after your treatment so you're not interrupting this process. I cannot stress that enough. You want to make sure that at the 2-week point after your treatment, you're getting your optimal results. There's more. This treatment even helps fine lines and wrinkles, sunspots, like I mentioned, uneven skin tone, the texture of your skin, stretch marks, scarring. Honestly, I'm not kidding when I say there's so many benefits of this treatment. This treatment can also help control some stubborn blemishes. Like I said, if you have active acne, we're not going to be doing it on your active acne, where if you have a few blemishes, depending on what they're like, I can quickly go over them if they're under the surface, or even if you have a blemish and it's the day of your appointment, I simply go around it. So do not worry, this treatment can actually help treat that. I've seen that in myself. You can see my results in my before and afters on my website and on my Instagram. But I found it really helped subside my irritations in my skin. It also helps shrink pore size. It's truly a facial that is going to give you so many results. I love it because you could come in and really want to work on your scarring, but simultaneously we're working on pigmentation that's not just within your scars. We're working on a glow, or we're just working on a healthy complexion. So please go to my blog. It's microneedling Q&A style. You're going to find this at inspirationsbeautyclinic.com, just on my website. And to make this easier for you guys, of course, I'm going to provide this information in the show notes for you so that you can see an entire outline and a great reference to look at before and after your treatment. In this blog, I also do have client results, some photos of what you can expect your skin to look like after, maybe potentially what your results could be like. And like I said, I even have my personal testimonial up there as well. So everyone's downtime is different. To be honest, I don't even like saying downtime because it makes this seem super intense. It's more like a healing time or a recovery time, but even that seems to have some scariness to it. It's honestly just waiting for the erythema, the redness, to subside. That's truly what the downtime is. Some people are red for the day of the treatment and then a dark pink the following day. And then by day 3, they're like a light pink or totally fine and ready to go. Others are red for a few days and then they start to see the color subside. Some are much more red after their initial treatment and some are a little bit pink. Again, you're going to see these results on that blog. Dryness and flakiness is very, very common. I personally experience this on my chin and around my lips. Others experience this when I typically focus on their cheeks. So they have a lot of scarring. They'll likely get more treatment done on their cheeks, which means a little bit more peeling. Everyone is different though, truly. Everyone has a different recovery time. As long as you follow the suggested recommendations, your recovery time will be approximately about 3 days. I even joke with people and tell them to go back to work right away. Even though you're bright red, it's a quick facial, so you can get it done on your lunch. And I always joke and say, well, you're going to be, walking advertisement for me because all these people are going to look at you and then they're going to be like, what'd you do? Like, what happened? And then they'll be like, I got microneedling. There's all these benefits and it really wasn't even that bad. I always joke with people and they look like I'm crazy, but I'm like, no, the funny thing is my mom does this. She goes pretty much anywhere after her appointments. She was telling me even a while ago how she went to the grocery store and even the cashier was asking her about it. And she's like telling her all the benefits and, how her daughter has this place. And yeah, so thanks, Mom. Thanks for being my number one fan and going out bright red to the grocery store. I appreciate that. So after the treatment, what can you feel? What are the sensations that you likely will have? Likely like a sunburn. It's very, very similar where your skin feels that really dry tightness, feels warm. You'll look a little bit red. It's very, very similar to a sunburn. The skin will likely feel numb for the day. And after that, you're going to start feeling normal again, especially by the next day. And seriously, there's really, truly not that much recovery time. We've chatted about the safety and the downtime and of course the benefits. So now you want to know, where can I have microneedling done? Is it just my face? The cool part is the only place that I really think that you can't have it done is just not over the eyes. I've done this treatment from the face to the neck, to breasts, to the stomach, to thighs, back, and arms. Anywhere where you have pigmentation, anywhere you have wrinkles, some scarring, stretch marks, I can do this treatment. And you can see some really great results. Again, if the blog didn't provide enough information for you, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. So Inspirations Beauty Clinic. And then you'll see on my feed, I often post information about microneedling, but you also can browse through my highlights and you're going to see kind of the process of how this is done and some before and afters. And you will see pigmentation lifts. You will see stretch marks, some really great improvements on there, and some scarring on the body. Okay, so your fear is subsiding. It doesn't sound as scary as you thought, but you still have some questions. Let's talk about how this is done. So again, without being annoying or a broken record, you can go to my Instagram or my website. I also have a TikTok now that has a video of me doing this treatment on a wonderful client of mine. That walks you through this process. So again, if you really are more of a visual and you want those videos and those images and the testimonials, please go to my blog, my Instagram, or my TikTok. And I really try to provide as much as I can for you so that everything kind of just gets partnered up and paired together so you know exactly what you were signing up for. So step by step of this process, like what's going to happen? First, I cleanse your skin. Then I'm going to wipe it down with witch hazel. This is just to make sure that I've lifted all the products, any makeup, oils, residue. I want to make sure that the skin is completely disinfected and completely dry. I will then apply the numbing cream to cover the full face, the full area being treated. The numbing cream is left on for about 20 minutes. And during this time, I explain the full process to you, and then I have you fill out the consent form. Of course, I answer questions through this too. So what I'm going to do right now is just explain the process as if you're in my clinic with me. The numbing cream is on your face. I'm going to give you the little spiel that I give everyone. So the numbing cream has been applied to your face, and I'm going to let it soak into your skin for about 20 minutes. This is so that the treatment can be as tolerable as possible. Your skin is likely going to feel cool and tingly, and that's completely normal. The numbness should last about half the day, maybe the full day, depending on your skin. And the only thing used during this treatment, other than numbing cream, is hyaluronic acid and the microneedling pen. If you want to learn more about this super serum, I don't say this in the review. This is just what I say to you guys, that I do have a blog about hyaluronic acid too. So if you want to learn more, if you keep saying like, wow, she keeps mentioning hyaluronic acid, like what is this? Go read Liquid Gold and you'll learn about the serum, and you'll actually learn in that why I use it for microneedling too. And the serum's also available for purchase in the clinic. So I'm going to go over your skin in 3 directions, one vertically, one horizontally, and then one upward circular motion. This is so that I can get the best response from the skin. And after these 3 processes and these 3 passes, I'm going to look over the full face, make sure I haven't missed anywhere, and then do what I call stamping. Stamping is a further controlled trauma technique that's used to target specific areas in the skin. So this is where I would talk with the client and I would say, can you show me what you're here for? Can you show me what exactly upsets you or bothers you or what you would like clear or lifted? And then I make sure that I target those specific areas. And then of course, like I've mentioned in previous episodes, I will use my own professional lens, and then I will look at further things that I think need some treatment. But I first and foremost focus on what they are desiring. So stamping is done over the problem areas that bother you, and from what I see, whether that's scarring, whether that's indentations and pigmentation and wrinkles, fine lines, anything that I can see that I treat, I will stamp over. I will then increase the intensity of the pen to stamp over these areas that are of focus. If I notice any blemishes, like I've said, don't worry, I will go around them. This is of course not if you have active acne, just if you have a blemish or two, totally fine. When I go over the forehead and the nose and under eye, I only use a 0.5 millimeter depth. This is what I really love about this pen too, is that it's fully customizable. I have full control over my treatment and can make this as superficial or as deep as I need it to be. For example, under the eye, I only do a 0.5. And then as I'm going through the skin, if I'm seeing really good response and they have tolerant skin and I'm doing some stamping, you can go up to about 2 millimeters. The forehead and the jawline is likely where you're going to feel this the most. This is just because of the bone. So the bone on your jawline and your forehead, where your nose, for example, is a really silly feeling. It's actually like you can feel your nose hairs and your boogers a little bit dancing. It's quite odd. A lot of people are like, oh, that's a really ticklish, weird sensation. You're likely going to have to sneeze or your eyes are going to water. Don't worry, totally normal. But other than that, the rest of the treatment, not even that that's not tolerable, but the rest of the treatment is really quite tolerable and straightforward. Even through this process, I've had so many clients be like, is it weird that I like this? Is it weird that this is like oddly relaxing? Honestly, you can't even really feel it. It doesn't hurt like I think it, or it doesn't hurt like I thought it would. Wow, this isn't really that bad. I've gotten everything. I've gotten that until a client of mine, my dear cousin, lovely, she laughed through it all and she was like, what is this treatment? Like, how is this relaxing to people? So she's my only one that's had this hilarious response to it. She was like, this is weird. Like, this feels funny. She thought the numbing cream was hilarious. So usually people are pretty relaxed, but I guess not for her. Hyaluronic acid is the only thing that's applied, like I've said, during this and after this treatment. It's because it helps heal and hydrate the skin. You really want to plump up the skin. And again, that repairing and hydration process is so important. Hyaluronic acid is actually what makes baby's cheeks so plump and full. This is what gives them that little cheek that we can squeeze. So of course, we're looking for that youthful plump. And that's where hyaluronic acid is really nice and beneficial right after we have those micro traumas in the skin, so it can fully, quickly, and actively absorb into the skin, plump up, and heal the skin. Once the treatment is fully complete, I will cover your face in more hyaluronic acid, and then you're off to the races. So again, hyaluronic acid is the only thing applied in this treatment. For the best results, I recommend this treatment 3 times, 4 weeks apart. If you're doing microneedling with healthy aging or simply just healthy skin in mind, then after your 3 treatments, you could get this treatment done seasonally or even twice a year just to maintain the results and also maintain that amazing collagen production. If you have deep scarring or stubborn pigmentation, you likely are looking at more like 6 treatments, but it does truly depend on the severity of your skin and then of course how your skin responds and heals. I do have package deals to try to make this more affordable and of course to encourage more than the one treatment so you can get optimal results. So you can always look at my website or contact me for more information. And yeah, see, now you want in. Now it doesn't scare you as much. Now you're like, why was I worried? Don't worry. I was in the same boat. When I had this treatment done on myself, when I took the course, I'm like, what the heck? Like, this looks so much scarier online than it is. So I'm glad that you guys listened, and I'm glad that hopefully this took away some of the fear. So before we close up today, I want to share with you some client testimonials just to show you that it's not just me that loves microneedling. Emma wrote, microneedling has been a godsend for me and my confidence. For years, I was terrified to get caught without makeup. And every time I looked in the mirror, I hated what I was seeing. With microneedling, I was given the gift of confidence, which is one of the best gifts I've ever gotten. Wow. Like, isn't that quite the testimonial? I remember when Emma sent that to me, I was like, wow, this is so much more than a treatment. Like, of course, I know there's so many benefits and there's so many amazing things that this treatment can give, but wow. You know, this is more than just lifting pigmentation. This is more than helping acne. This is more than clearing scarring. Another client of mine wrote, my stomach results are night and day from what it was. The stretch marks are smaller and lighter. Any result for me was better. I will even consider wearing a bikini. Isn't that amazing? Again, a solution that gave this client confidence internally and externally. Honestly, it was a type of testimonial that, again, highlights what this service can actually do for people and for their skin and for the way that they view themselves. Another client of mine, Marta, said, immediately as I got microneedling done, everyone noticed a difference in my skin. The texture of my skin is flawless. It even helped with my keratosis. If I could do this daily, I would. I'm with you, Marta. I'm the same way. I love this treatment. And I love how my skin looks and feels after. And if I could do it as often as possible, I would as well. So now that you see this treatment is truly, really loved, not that you didn't have to, not that you didn't believe me without testimonials, but I just think that was a nice added touch. And I hope this is exactly what you needed. I hope this is exactly what you wanted when you clicked to learn more about microneedling. I'm so excited for you guys to learn from Megan next week on next week's episode. So don't forget to tune in. She's an esthetician and massage therapist. And next week's episode, we're going to chat all about gua sha. So I'm super excited. Stay tuned, stay excited, and get ready to tune in with us next Monday. I'm so excited to keep serving you all. And I'm so excited for my very first guest on this podcast. Stay internally and externally beautiful, all you inspirational beings. Thank you for being you.